So, oh yeah, now for video purposes, we'll grab a folded old rag towel, a beach towel, so maybe a couple inches thick, or a cushion, and then have a strap or some other non-stretchy, preferably non-stretchy. Get my words right in the right order. Okay, let's center. So taking a big breath today and just reach up and stretch, and then exhale and settle in to your seated mountain. Keeping the breath nice and full and complete. Experiencing on the inside what it feels like to breathe today. Long and smooth, short and choppy. Is it soothing? Is it aggravating to focus on your breath? And from here, we'll set our intention, your own personal intention for your own personal practice. You can take your hands to heart center and seal in that intention. Get extra tall through your spine and then drop the chin down. And we'll release. Let your chin come parallel to the floor. And let one more person in. Where were we? Let's go back into the neck. Already I've lost track. So checking in with a little nod, yes. And then maybe some no. And we'll do some shrugs, just kind of loosening things up in the neck and shoulders. All right. Listening to all the pops and cracks and snaps. We're going to take that chin right on back down, and as if you had a collar just like this one, you're going to try to trace it with your chin. Only as far as you're comfortable, and of course, doing everything within your comfortable range of motion. Oops, chin following shirt collar. And then next time you're back to the center, we'll go ahead and lift the head and the shoulders, drop them down, and then go, let's twist to the right. Engage into the floor with your feet. And the belly's doing all the work. The hands are just there resting, not forcing into the twist. On your inhale, come back to your center. And your exhale, twist to your left. Inhale back to the center, and we'll exhale, lean forward just a tiny bit. And then we'll inhale and come back up, all the way up. So again, just leaning forward, maybe a few degrees further. And just checking in with the back. We'll pop back up and consider the back here. So we're going to come to the edge of the chair and do our very nice slow motion. Not a swirl yet, it's just a directional point. So I'm taking left shoulder toward right knee just to feel what's going on. I feel it mostly in the upper glute, low back. And then come back up and check in with your other side. Bottom stays firmly down onto the chair. And then we'll just do that one more time to each side. Something you can't really do comfortably on the floor. So good for us. All right, so then we'll go back to side one, and then we'll come around to the front, hit the pause button so it's not a smooth transition. We're rolling the shoulders back and purposefully extending through the spine and then going over to the other side. And then when you come up, here's the part I usually forget, but we want to try to remember a little cat pose for the spine. So I'm arching the back and then coming neutral, going back around in the same direction, slowly and deliberately. Cat pose. And switch directions. So less smooth, so we find a little place to pause so we can feel into the mindfulness of it all. So you can start to notice, is it still tight in certain spots? Does it feel about the same? Are you able to breathe okay? And then we're done. Just like that. We're gonna stay hydrated. Okay, we'll pick up those heels and feel the balls of the feet, feel the toes. Lean back a little bit, firm up your core a little bit, and we'll start windshield wipering. You can keep it gentle, of course. I'm turning the head in the opposite direction just to add a little bit more movement. Watch your knees, be careful of those guys. The next time your right leg is in front, you can transition into your seated lunge position. We get those 90-degree angles with the foot and with the knee, with the hip. Same on this side. So try to get that axial extension, like you're being lifted. And then leaning back only if it feels like a really good stretch for your hip flexor and okay for your knee. If it's not okay for your knee, bring your knee forward. Excuse me. You can extend your arm, take a few more breaths. And we'll direct our shoulder back over the hip and sneak in one of those little side stretches here, gently reaching over your head and then back to neutral and over your head again. And we'll come back, drop that arm, use those core muscles, and come over purposefully to the other side with really good posture. And check in with your alignments. Get that extension in the spine like you're trying to lift, have lift off with your head. And check in with your tendencies of the leg to maybe go on vacation. So you want to keep firm in that press into your floor with your right leg, right foot. When you feel like you are ready for that transition, come back to where shoulders right over hip, and you can reach over your head. And then come back to neutral and reach overhead again. Back to neutral, drop your arm, use your core muscles. Coming back to our center, mountain pose so we can cat-cow. Start with your exhale, draw the belly in, complete that exhale. And on your inhale, let the belly come forward, let the heart reach forward. And find yourself back to mountain pose. Let's see, we're gonna be doing some extra work, some extra strengthening, so we'll get a little bit of extra stretching beforehand. So we'll take our shoulder, neck and shoulder stretch here. We're going to take the right arm and let it come in front. Let it be heavy in your left hand. We're dragging it across the body gently and looking over the right shoulder. And we'll release that arm, let it come all the way back behind you. You can leave it there in your half parade rest with good posture, or you can reach over and grab hold of your other arm. Let your head fall gently to your left. So we get all of this stretched out gently. Using the breath, of course, to help make this more of a gentle stretch rather than a forced one. Then we'll bring that head back on straight. I'm just going to lean off to this side and let it dangle, circle, release. And pop back up, shrug, let it go. Other arm, bring it across. And then I feel a nice little stretch here. I'm going to turn and look over that left shoulder. And we'll open the arm and let it come back behind us. So trying to keep everything into alignment. If you're here and it feels like a great stretch, then stay there. If you want to deepen, grab a hold of your other arm. And then we get to lean that head over toward your right. And bring everything back to neutral. Release that arm and we'll further release it onto the floor. So gentle circles. Okay, and now let's just get ready to come up. So we're gonna, if you wanted to stay seated, you could push into the floor, lift yourself all the way up. And then let's take an up dog. We're gonna come back behind the chair, press into the chair, or if you're still seated, into your lap and lift up through your heart. And then as you transition into your down dog, just start with your chin. So I'm going to drop the chin and walk the feet back. You can pedal your feet, of course. Mindfully noticing the distance between your feet. It's about hip distance or a fist and a half. You want to try to feel the stretch if you're walking your dog. Feel the stretch on the bottom of your feet. So if my right knee is lifted, I'm also feeling the stretch on the back of that left hip. And then we'll come back to check in with our really nice mountain pose. Just basic, feet underneath us. They don't have to be touching unless that's the lineage you're used to studying, then you can keep your feet together. So legs are active, feet pushing into the floor, core is a little active, head's drawing back, nice and simple. And then we'll grab our strap. So I'm going to set my towel down, a little beach towel, and grab a strap. Put that around the back of your neck. It's always nice to level the ends out, just so they will be easier to use, of course. All right, and then you're gonna find a nice hand placement. That's the little tricky part. So my arms are not all the way straight here. They're a little bit bent at the elbows. Yep, feet are still in mountain pose. I'm gonna take the strap out and try to straighten it. And then I'm going to let let the strap come through my hands a little bit. We want to feel some of that tension in the strap with straight arms. The palms are forward. Yeah, so the arms are as straight as you're comfortable taking them. And then let it come on back to neutral. I'm gonna still hold on to the point on the strap, so I don't forget where they go. So, and then warrior two, legs with the right toes turning. The right knee will bend as these arms come back out. Yeah, so it's a different way to work the muscles in the arms, and you might enjoy it, you might not. The strap is optional. And then we're going to release that. We can do this, let's do this with the breath a few times. So again, the goal is to try to straighten, if your arms are not straight, let go of the strap a little bit and let them straighten out. This will be our inhale. On the exhale, relax your arms and straighten your knee. Inhale and exhale. We'll do that one more time. Inhale. And maybe stay there. We're going to let the strap go. Well, we're still holding on to it, sorry. And turn the toes. Let's go to the other side. Come into it, just kind of test the waters. I'm pulling with all my might to strengthen those arm muscles. And then release. Good. Inhale and warrior two. Exhale and return. All right, last one. We'll stay there for a few moments. And when you're ready to come back, now I'm letting go, and I'm just gonna massage the web of my one hand and then web of the other. Rub those paws together. I'm gonna interlace the fingers and just stretch them out in front of you. And then we'll come back and shake them out a bit. All right, so let's see if we can place the hands back where they go. We're going to turn the right toes, bring those arms out again. Straight, and the strap is nice and tight or taut. And then we'll experiment with reverse warrior variation. So we're going to keep the arms nice and straight and long, and then come back through warrior two. And just tip it up again. See what you can notice differently here. Oh, I feel a lot more work in my core muscles. Right there. Ah, interesting. And last one. All right, we're coming back. Let's turn the toes, release the hands just because, right? And stretch them out again. If it were just that simple, we're just there. Okay. We are here again. Little bend in the elbows, left toes turning, bringing the arms out, straight strap, nice and tight. And then reverse warrior. Then back to warrior two. We're gonna have super strong arms. Last one. And release the strap. Good. All right, let's take, we can take this thing off for a little bit. You can really give those hands a break. So we'll go into our down dog. Let's take a warrior one while we're here. We're just gonna step that right foot forward. And make sure there's that space between your feet. Heels are not lined up. Maybe the arms come up, gaze is across the horizon or higher. While you're here, maybe stretch out through those hands, nice and wide. We're going to drop the arms and do that nice little standing twist as an option. So I'm going to leave my left hand on the chair, right hand can come to the hip, and just looking over the right shoulder. Really pushing down into the floor with your feet. And maybe you extend that right arm. How's your breath? And come back to your hands on the chair, back to down dog. Left leg's going to step forward, warrior one legs. Hips are forward, arms can reach up if you like. Gazing at the horizon or higher. Nice full, complete breaths. When you're ready to exhale again, go ahead and drop your hands onto the chair. We'll leave the right hand where it is. The left hand can go onto your hip to guide your twist to your left. Make sure you're feeling grounded through those feet. Maybe you extend the left arm. Then we'll come back to both hands on the chair, back to down dog. And we'll come back up to mountain pose. And we'll get ready to experiment. So have your towel, your cushion, a blanket, something that's not too terribly thick. Have that handy. And we're gonna do like a kind of a before picture, and it may fail miserably, I don't know. But we're gonna just feel the feet, maybe rock a little bit back and forth, and then shift the weight into the right leg, and just take a tree pose. And see, just take that little mental before picture. I'm wobbly, I'm not wobbly, shaky, not shaky. Just kind of check in, and then we'll do the other side. So grounding down through that left leg, doing tree with your right knee open. Is my breath disappearing? Do I feel like I'm efforting a lot? Okay, and then we'll drop the foot and take a little chair pose, or an active mountain. I'm gonna sit the hips back, draw the pelvic floor in and up, belly engaged. And why not? We'll get a little extra oomph. Then we'll come up and grab that blanket, fold. I'm gonna put it right underneath the right foot. So you want enough cushion to feel challenged. And if you have knee pain, ditch this blanket altogether. So all I'm gonna do is just use this extra cushion. If you've ever been in a yoga class in a gym where they have those big, thick, cushy mats, and you're like, I can't balance. This is what we're trying to recreate. So I'm just picking up my other foot. Doesn't have to be in tree pose. I just want to challenge these stability muscles here on this standing leg. And you may feel like it's not high enough. If it's really thin, I'm gonna grab another. There. Okay, so am I trying to compensate? Is my body leaning forward? I want to try to keep that mountain pose. Another breath. And then we're gonna step off of the cushion and feel the difference. So if I had to give it a name today, I think it would feel more solid. I can tell everything's way more activated. So we'll try to do the same for the other foot. Okay. So you don't want, this is easy. You want, okay, this is a little challenging. I feel the work. I feel the wobbles. Good. And just breathe as if this were easy. So I can feel everything all the way up, maybe a little bit past my knee, everything working, doing all that little extra stabilizing. And then we'll come off of the cushion and feel solid into the earth. It's my favorite. And then take another chair pose. And let's see what tree feels like here. So this is our after picture. Hopefully it feels, I'm not gonna say anything. Don't want to plant the seeds, so I'm just pushing down into the floor with right leg. Maybe it feels the same. Maybe it feels stronger. And we'll take that left knee forward and plant it down, and tree pose on the other side. Okay, one more breath. And plant your foot, take a wider stance in another chair pose. Our legs have no choice but to get stronger today. Well, you could have a choice. You could opt out of everything. All right, and then we'll come up. I'm gonna get rid of this for now. Stay hydrated. And we're jumping back up into arm strength. So we're going to grab our strap. Of course, this could be done seated or standing. So I'm going to start out making sure I don't hit my head with the buckle. So fists in front, palms down, and the wrists are about shoulder distance apart. Everything else is mountain pose. So making sure you're not here, you're here. And then pull it nice and tight. Activating all the muscles you wish to activate. And release. We'll take it out in front of us. So straight out and do the same thing. I can feel the work. I want to feel it more in my upper back and the posture muscles. So I'm engaging those shoulder blades together. And give it a break. Don't want to create tension and then leave the tension there, so we kind of erase it. And we're going to take the strap a little bit wider. It's twisted and annoying. And then come up as high as you're comfortable. So I think I'm cutting off the video. So don't go into pain in your shoulders. Find a comfortable distance apart with your hands, and then try again that nice pull. Engage your core and still breathe. Ooh, and then release. Yeah, let it go. I'm going to make sure this is not twisted. And then we can do that dynamic flow a little bit. So I'm just going to keep my hands a little wider than shoulders. And the whole time I'm pulling it tight. You can choose how much or how little effort to go into this. So inhale up, and we'll exhale back down. So if it's hurting your hands, say if you have arthritis or anything going on in your paws, then pretend you have a strap. And you're still activating those muscles, just not as much. All right, last one. Okay, I'm going to keep it up here, and then we'll get that digestive, that acne fire going. So I'm going to bend the knees a lot. See if I can describe mirroring you. Dropping my left hand down and making a loop. So now left or right hand comes down, it's flat. Left hand is up. Making a big old circle or a small circle. Make sure your knees stay bent when you're exhaling down. All right, the next time you come all the way up, really exaggerate that uplift. So through the heart, little back bend, come back to neutral, and we'll reverse those circles. Still pulling the strap tight. We are going to have nice toned arms. All right, next time you're up in the air, let's give it a rest. So I'm just gonna put the strap on my neck and do some organic flapping. Stretch those paws out again. Tuck the chin. And then we'll do one more stretch with the strap for the upper body. So this one I like to just let it go. So it's Gomukhasana, which you could totally do without the strap if your hands have had enough. So strap goes in the right hand. If you already know it, you can go ahead and get into Gomukhasana. I'll slow it way down for those of us who have a difficult time getting into it. So you could start way up here, hand on your head. You can drop your hand down towards your neck. Give the elbow a little assistance. You want to try to keep your chin parallel to the floor and not jutting your head forward. Excuse me. And then your opposite hand, that would be your left hand, is coming around to grab the strap. So I'm trying to shimmy hands up to meet each other, but not at the risk of going into any kind of pain. So that's just not worth it. You can back up the whole sequence and just do a little bit. I keep wanting to go into chair pose, so I'm going to go ahead and take chair pose here. Yeah, how's your breath? Okay, we're coming out. So the lower hand releases first, and then the upper hand, I'm just going to totally shake it out. You can lean forward, get some circles, and notice how your neck feels. So I'm just going to invite softness into my neck by slowly moving and deeply breathing. As if I could iron things out in there. All right, and then we'll go to the other side. Gomukhasana, cow face pose, left hand on top of your head or crawling it back behind you. Everything's in mountain pose here. Maybe you're helping that elbow come up, guiding your hand down your spine. Maybe you stay there or you reach back, grab the strap. And be with what you feel. Unless it feels painful, then you won't be with it because you'll back out. Thinking about alignments, we've got good posture. If you want more leg strength, you can sit it back into chair pose. Those feel so extra good today. All right, I'm releasing bottom hand and releasing top hand. So we might not be done with the strap. So I'm just gonna bunch it up instead of rolling it up. And we've done this one before too. We're just gonna create some space for this arm by going into warrior one. So I'm holding the strap in the right hand and the left leg stepping forward, and then placing my shoulder directly over the floor so I can get some release here in the shoulder. Momentum-y circles in both directions. And then we'll pop back up to mountain pose, check in with posture. Yep, okay. And then switch hands, switch legs. Create that little space here for release into the shoulder. Go around in the other direction. And come on back. So let's have this strap handy in case I decide to pick that thing back up again. I figure we went through the trouble to gather our supplies, so we're going to do this again because it's strengthening, right? And when you're at the gym, you usually do 3 sets of stuff to strengthen. So why not do this all over again? So I'm going to press into the floor with the right foot on whatever cushion you have. And then start to peel up the left foot, any amount. So even if you keep toes down for safety, that's fine. So this time maybe we pay attention to what's going on with the posture and clenching. See if you can soften your face muscles, relax the shoulders, and breathe gently, like this were super easy. And if it is super easy, bring movement in that other leg. So that might make it a little bit more challenging if you want more challenging. Okay, one more breath. All right, and then I like to step down off the cushion and just feel for a second. Okay, that was 1 second. Time's up, and we're on to the other leg. We're gonna refluff. I feel like I got smashed down. All right, so if you've done physical therapy, they have those nice little Bosu balls. They probably even have those at the gym now, I don't know, where you step on those and you try to balance on those things. So this is a little bit less than that, or a lot less than. Okay, so think of your posture, anything clenching, soft belly, relaxed face. And again, if it's too easy and you want more challenge, bring some movement into that free leg. Try not to clench your toes or grip with your toes. One more breath. All right, and then we'll be done with that. And come back to wide-legged chair pose. Wider than shoulders. Think of hip stabilizers. Everything's engaging and symmetrically strengthening. And then we will come up and take a kind of a freeing warrior two after having that strap. So right toes turning, and just be in your warrior two. We'll release the arms, turn the toes, and go to the other side. Enjoy the freedom of no strap in this warrior two. Release your arms, straighten the leg, and get ready to come down onto your chair. If you still need more leg strengthening, you can sit to stand a few times. Keep going if you like. Why not? All right. Then, since we have the strap in hand, we can, I don't know why I'm scooting to the edge, we need to be as far back as possible with this. So we have the support of the chair under the thigh. So find the very center of your strap so the ends will match, and place that strap on the ball of your foot. I'm gonna make sure my chair's straight for some reason. Okay, and then notice what your arms are doing. We want the elbows relaxed and down, and there's that grip again. So I'm just trying to very lightly use my hands as little as possible, if that even makes sense. So I'm not death gripping. I'm trying to have a good posture and enjoying the stretch on the back of that leg. Reaching through the heel, trying not to, if you're hypermobile, try not to lock that knee. The seated variation of this on the floor is way more intense and has a lot of potential for maybe a little spinal stuff going on. So this is a really nice alternative for people who are extra stiff on the whole backside, actually. Let's duck foot. We're gonna externally rotate the foot and see what we feel here. And come back to 12 o'clock with your toes. Put a nice bend in that leg. And then if you want to go into pigeon pose, you can use the strap to guide your ankle onto your opposite leg. And then we don't need the strap, I'm just kind of holding it here for the next leg. In the meantime, enjoying your pigeon pose. Use the breath to relax the shoulders and relax around the hip joint. Trying to keep this foot flexed and active. And we'll get ready to unfold that leg, but we're going to hit the pause button in half boat. So I'm leaving this knee up and I'm trying to lean back to where I can feel the work in my core. I'm just going to open up the hands today. And then release that leg. We're going to scoot out toward the edge of the chair, stretch it out, point and flex and circle. Excuse me, and massage the knee joint, the sides and the back of the knee. Okay, and then we'll scoot on back again so we can stretch our hamstrings, get the strap around the ball of that foot. Again, you want to be as far back in your chair for support as you can. With good posture, relaxed elbows, and the foot is at 12 o'clock. I like the reclined version of this, so that's nice. You can lay there and watch TV or something on your back with your leg in the air. I would keep the other knee bent. Some people like to extend. That would be your right leg along the floor, and then this foot would be up, sole of the foot toward the ceiling. Very nice deep stretch. If you have low back issues, it's a nice place to be. All right, we'll take another breath. Oops, found myself death gripping. No need. We're going to externally rotate the foot just for a moment. And then back to 12 o'clock with your foot. A little bend in that knee, and decide if you want to use the strap to come up into your pigeon. Kindly keep that foot flexed, and we're trying to aim the knee down toward the floor and get nice and tall through the spine. Hinging forward if you want to deepen your pose. Unfold that leg, scoot a little bit so I have room to lean back and work the core muscles. So I'm just leaving this leg bent, the other one's staying on the floor for stability, and we'll take the arms out, stretch through the palms, and then go ahead and drop that leg. And, you can stretch it out and point and flex and circle. Massage the knee joint. All right, and then let's sneak in one more lunge, and that's just to kind of a counter pose for all of the extension back there and for holding for a while. So we want to do the opposite of that and just try to get right right hip flexor to stretch here just for 2 or 3 breaths. And then we'll switch sides. Get everything leveled out, counterposed, and happy. And back to our seated mountain pose for cat-cow. Thinking about what the pelvis is doing here. So just bringing in a little movement, tilting, and stretching and flexing the spine. And back to mountain pose where you feel aligned. And we'll twist to the right, get our final twist in here. Use this as an invitation to relax into the twist. On your inhale, come back to your center. On your exhale, twist to your left. And just be gentle into the twist. So I'm not forcing anything. I'm just allowing the shoulders to release. Feeling the belly expand with the inhale. Right, on your next inhale, come back to your center and lean forward. And maybe stay there for a child's pose. So we're just going to let the chin come in. When you're ready to inhale again, use your hands on your legs to come back up. And we need to do a hand-brain exercise. What are we going to do today? How challenging do we want this to be? So we'll take our Volkswagen hands with our V on this hand and our W on this hand. So I've got index fingers split. I'm trying to show 2 screens at the same time. Like that, and then switch them. Index finger and then the middle 2 fingers split. Like we don't need one more thing to make our hands feel stiff. Sorry. All right, one more. And then open and close. Rub those hands together. And we'll start in on our self-massage. Start with your right leg lightly, breaststroke only up in the direction of your heart. Groin. Left leg. And groin. The abdomen. The right arm. Armpit. Left. And the sternum. Take that tapping up to your mohawk, tops of the ears. And then find your thumbs at the base of your skull. Get that nice little massage back there. Peace finger, sandwich your earlobes. And follow your jawbone to your chin, down the front of your throat, to your heart. And then you can rest into your chair. You can transition onto a nice comfy bed or a couch. We'll gently start watching the breath. Feel free to let your eyes close or gaze down. So see if you can tell where you feel the breath the most. So maybe it's the nostrils or the throat or somewhere else. You can hear the sound of your breath. Noticing mindfulness, noticing sounds around you. Maybe you hear your clock ticking or my clock ticking, hear my voice, heater, the air conditioner, traffic. And slowly start to draw that awareness back closer to your body. So back into the focus of the sound of your breath. Any tastes in your mouth or sensations? Is your mouth dry or moist? Noticing feelings on the skin. Just adjusting. If you need to feel a little bit more comfortable, grab a blanket mindfully, get your wiggles out, and then see if you can come to a gentle stillness where you can focus all of your attention on the breath and on your body. So noticing your face muscles around the eyes and mouth, around your jaw. And notice your head, your whole head, the scalp, the head where it connects to the back of your neck. Noticing anything you can find in your neck. Around into your shoulders. And remembering it's not about what you find, it's just that you're looking, you're feeling, you're observing. Your arms, your hands, all 10 fingers. Notice your back, the muscles in the back, at the top, the middle, and the bottom. Notice the front side of your torso, starting with the top, the chest, the ribs, solar plexus, navel, and everything in between. Become aware of your sits bones, where you feel connected to the chair. Good awareness still in the breath. Soften your jaw, relax your tongue. We'll continue on just noticing the legs, from the top of the legs, through the knees, into the ankles, and into your feet. Noticing all 10 toes. And bring awareness into your whole body. All of the cells breathing in, receiving. All of the cells releasing, letting go on that exhale. If your mind starts to wander, bring it back gently to the breath, the sensations of the breath. And we'll start to deepen the breath. Sometimes when we say deepen the breath, or when we hear it, we think about the inhale, but also think about that exhale and see how long you can comfortably drag that exhale out. And we'll start to bring movement back in, wiggling fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Letting the feet relax back into the floor to reach those arms up. Get that nice full body stretch. Bring the hands together down to heart center. And take a moment of gratitude. Think of at least 3 things today that you feel thankful for. And I thank you for taking time out of your day to practice your yoga. Namaste. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a great weekend.